Hi everybody, my name's Ayla Roberts. Welcome back to my channel if you're a long-time subscriber. If not, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing you the third part of a three-part Q&A session I've been doing. And if you're a music fan, if you're a music lover, and if you're someone who asked me a music question, then this is your lucky video, because this is the video I'm going to be answering all of those music questions in, and hopefully you'll be satisfied. That's the Evanescence album. Do you know what? I had a roller coaster. I had a roller coaster with Synthesis. When I heard Bring Me to Life, I was like, oh, I don't like this. I hated what they'd done to it for about 5 weeks. I hated it. And I was disappointed because when I'd first watched that video that Amy Lee did at home about we're doing this album and it's going to be stripping back all the guitars and the drums and just leaving the synth and the orchestral elements, I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. To be honest, the first time I heard almost all of the songs off Synthesis, I was like, I'm not keen. And the more I heard them, the more they grew on me. I still prefer the original Bring Me to Life, but the Synthesis one has grown on me. I love the little extra notes that she's added. I never liked My Heart Is Broken on the self-titled album. Never liked it. Love the Synthesis version. I am in love with the Synthesis version of My Heart Is Broken. Never Go Back, that beautiful, gorgeous piano introduction, and oh, love it. I loved the self-titled album. Even the ones I didn't really like, I still thought were good. So the ones that she took, like Never Go Back and My Heart Is Broken and Lost in Paradise, and just, oh, they're amazing. Imperfection, not too sure on, but some days I like it, some days I don't. I love the album, so much so that I obviously went and did the whole meet and greet, seeing them live in the front row, and went to Manchester, and it was all great. And I did a vlog about all of that. If you're interested, click that card. This was an interesting question. Nothing made me decide to sing. I grew up in a family where my mum wasn't really a music person, but she loved to get up on karaoke, and my dad's side of the family, they were massively into music. My granddad, he loved to sing on the karaoke. He's always loved music. And my dad and my uncle, his brother, my late uncle, he was in a band with my dad. And they were actually in the part of the UK that I'm originally from, the West Midlands. They were actually quite big. Like, you can say the name of the band, Black Widow, to people, and they go, God, yeah, I've heard of those. I remember going and seeing those when I was younger, so that's really cool. But my uncle, he was a fantastic singer. He could sing AC/DC and Zeppelin and all these mad, rock and roll notes that they would sing, but he could also sing and croon along with Frank Sinatra and Engelbert Humperdinck, and yeah, it was... He was amazing. He was a phenomenal pianist. Before I even heard of Evanescence, he was the first person that introduced me to the piano, and he was my starting point for wanting to learn the piano. He passed away a few years ago, and suddenly, which is horrible. My dad, he was a drummer. He roadied for Black Widow, and I think he drummed for them occasionally, and he was a drummer for so many years. He had this gorgeous Pearl Export 1991 kit. Loved it. Loved that kit, and he had it for so long. I think he had it for about 20 odd years, maybe even longer than that. Gorgeous kit. And the passion that he played the drums with, and just... He lived music. I say that in past tense because as he got older, he kind of fell away from the music a bit. Nights in White Satin, the cover that I did, I actually did that cover for my GCSE music because of my dad. Because it was one of the songs he used to play on the guitar when he was learning, and I would go and sing it with him. Growing up, I had so much music around me. It wasn't really a choice to sing, it just was what it was, you know. Eventually it became to a point where I was like, okay, I'm good at this and I'm gonna keep doing it. And that's what I did. Does it take up a lot of time? Probably not as much time as I've taken to answer this one question. It probably doesn't take as much time as that. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about music. Really passionate. I love talking about it. I love talking about where my music comes from and my background with it. So no time spent on music ever feels like a lot of time. It's one of those things where time flies when you're having fun, and it's that way for me with music. I don't think it really takes up much time. I mean, you can sing whilst you're walking around the house and cleaning, and you can sing your children to sleep, and you can sing to yourself in the car and in the shower, and yeah, I don't feel like it takes up a lot of time. It doesn't take up a lot of time. If anything, I wish I had more time to spend on it. This was a question from somebody, a friend of mine, that was something that he's been struggling with, and I did answer it for him at the time because of the type of question it was, but I'm still going to answer it here now. And he said, you know, why do I sometimes not have the motivation to sing? I have had periods in my life where I've not really wanted to sing. For me, it was lack of feeling. When you sing, I sing from deep places. I might not have been through exactly word for word what the song is talking about, but I will have some sort of experience that I can draw off from it. Someone I've seen on TV, or something, a story someone else has told me, or something I've been through myself. And I sing from a deep place. Like I put all of what I have into it. And I love doing it. It's not something I force myself to do. I love doing that. But the issue is that I'm emotionally drained. I've sang all my feelings out, all my hate, all my anger, all my love, all my lust, everything. I've sang it all out, and I don't really have anything left. I sing and I flatten my singing battery, and then I have to recharge it. The other reasons that people, in my experience, have lost motivation to sing is because they're singing because they want to get recognition, they want to try and get a record contract, they want to be noticed, and they feel like no one's noticing them. They're not getting to where they want to be in the music industry. My advice to those people is always, you need to change what you're singing for. Don't ever sing for someone else, as in don't do it because you want gratification and you need gratification, and you're doing it because you want to get ahead and you want to get a record contract, because you end up losing your motivation and burning out, because those things rarely happen for people. And nowadays it's not even really worth trying to get a record contract, to be honest. Record labels, production companies, they're using the social media nowadays as a way of assessing someone. It used to be they would sit down, they'd listen to someone sing, and they would go, do we think this person is bankable? Basically, do we think that they're going to be popular? Do we think people are going to like their music? People are going to listen to their music? Are they going to buy their music? Are they going to be prepared to go and see them at concerts and shows? Is having them as part of our record label going to benefit and profit us? And they didn't have any medium to judge that on, other than maybe things they'd heard from other people about, oh, every show they play at the local pubs, they get quite a crowd, or just hearing them and going, they look and sound like they should be bankable, so we'll hire them. And nowadays that's not what they're doing. Record companies are going, okay, well, John Smith wants to be a singer, and let's see his YouTube channel. Oh, he's got 5 million subscribers and he's, everybody loves him. Yeah, he's clearly very bankable, let's sign him. And then you get like Jane Doe, and she's like got 20 subscribers and not really any followers, and she's not really clicking with anybody, and they kind of go, even though she might have the criteria that they would have signed her on in the past, now they're going, but would she be bankable? It's complicated, and you are just going to burn yourself out and lose all motivation to do anything if your sole reason for singing is because you want to get signed. Another reason I have is just lack of confidence. People sing at home, they're not singing to anybody, and slowly but surely their confidence builds, and they go, actually, you know what, I think I sound quite good. I think I might go onto like apps like Smule and Star Maker and sing and see how it goes. And they go on, sorry, my husband's going past with the Hoover, so they go on and they sing, and maybe they get a negative feedback or a negative comment, or they upload something to YouTube and they get negative comments. Just trolls, ignore them. And it knocks their confidence, and people just, sometimes they don't even realise that that's what's caused them to lose their motivation to sing, but knocks their confidence, and they kind of go, I don't want to do this anymore, you know. So you've got to search yourself, soul search yourself, and see what one of the three things I've said feels right for you in your situation. There are other things as well that could cause it, but I feel like I might be spending too much time on these questions, so I'm going to move on. I kind of feel like the second half of that question is really redundant. What are my feelings on them? Well, I've based my whole channel around Evanescence covers and a lot of things to do with Evanescence. So my feelings towards them publicly are, they're a fantastic band. I love the way they write songs. I think Amy Lee's a fantastic vocalist. My feelings for them on the inside are, I am so obsessed. So yeah. I discovered them the good old-fashioned way. I was sitting at home watching The Box, and The Box not being used here as a euphemism for the TV. The Box is in the television channel, The Box, and the new releases came up the chart of new releases, and there was Bring Me to Life, and they had me from that opening skyline coming down, and that yep, as soon as it started, had me. I play the piano, I paint and draw. I'll show you a couple of pictures of things I paint and drew. That's not something I do all the time though, I don't do it very regularly. And I like to, when I'm drawing, I do pencil sketches. When I'm painting, I like to do sort of abstract, off the cuff things. And I'm not fantastic at it. Story writing, I've always been told that I spin a good yarn, and I've been writing a novel now for about 12 years. But it's angels, demons, devils, vampires, werewolves, and lots of sex, basically. It's like a cross between Underworld, Van Helsing, The Da Vinci Code, and Hogwarts. There's no magic, but the place this coven lives in, yeah. And if you've ever played a PC game called Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines, it's a little bit of that thrown in as well. So yeah, it's really good. I actually love it. Yeah, the talents. I can play clarinet. I used to play clarinet, I should say. That's about it. Oh, that's got to be easy. Recently, just this past year, I had one person was absolutely convinced that I was Amy Lee. So that was an amazing compliment to have people think that I am good enough to sound like Amy Lee. And I like to believe it's true. I like to believe that it's true. I suppose most people expect me to say Amy Lee, but it's not just one person. It would be Amy Lee, my dad, and my uncle. My uncle just did things. If he wanted to do something, he did it. If he wanted to learn French, he learned French. If he wanted to play the piano, he played the piano. You know, he wanted to do something, he did it, and he managed to accomplish a lot of the things that I want to accomplish. So, him, my dad, because he always was the guy everybody wanted to be at a party with. He always seemed to know what to say and how to be around people, and he always seemed to know what was appropriate and what wasn't, depending on situations and circumstances. And he always took things in his stride, just lots of fun. Obviously Amy Lee, because she has done something incredible, and I think a lot of people nowadays don't realise just how incredible what she did is. Not who she is, but what she did. And I should say what they did, Amy, Ben and Dave, because they put this little band together that they never did shows. They did like 1 or 2 gigs a year, you know, and they put this, and they just spent all this time writing music. And the music, I know Amy says she listens back to those old songs and she's like, oh god, but if you just forget the lyrics and the teenage angst, you just listen to the complexity of the rhythms they were writing and the strings, and just it was just amazing, and just the sheer amount of passion she was able to put in. And they managed to, without even trying, get noticed and take a female fronted rock band, one of the first ever female fronted rock bands of the alternative rock genre, at a time that was very dominated by Linkin Park and Papa Roach and Limp Bizkit and all those kind of people, and they did it. They managed to go and break into that world, and not just put a crack in it. I mean, they bulldozed into the place like a bull in a china shop. And what I love about it is Amy never stopped, really. She never stopped charging ahead, I don't think. I know that there's long breaks between albums, but I don't think she ever really stopped charging ahead. From what she says in interviews, it seems like every time she does slow down and start to lose momentum and feel a bit like, is this what I want? All of a sudden, when she least expects it, she sees a red flag and then she's off again, and she produces these new things. I mean, none of their albums are the same. They're all Evanescence, but none are the same. And then with Synthesis, I mean, the sheer willpower she must have had to have to get that to work. And she's worked with one of my other favourite musicians, Maynard James Keenan. And yeah, she's wrote scores for movies. She's wrote movie soundtracks. She's done so much. And she has got such drive. Amy's drive pushes me to have more drive and get up and go. My dad's sense of life and confidence makes me want to be better and more confident and more at ease. And my uncle's just can-do attitude, just, yeah, I can do it, done. You know, those are the 3 people that push me to be better. Nope. I dove into a pool to save a child when I was at play scheme when I was about 10. A friend of mine who might be watching this will remember that moment, where there was a particularly nasty boy in our group at play scheme, and he was a really bad bully, and he pushed a young boy who didn't know how to swim into the swimming pool, and the lifeguard just didn't do anything. So I jumped in. I didn't follow any textbooks life-saving things. I just jumped in and got him. But I'm pretty sure that had I not jumped in, somebody else would have. So I don't really feel like I saved his life as such, because I don't think he would have drowned anyway. I think someone would have saved him. I just happened to be the first person who thought to jump in. The reason that I put this in the music part of this though is because I don't really feel like I've saved anyone's life, but I know that music has saved mine on more than one occasion. It is the thing I want out of the music I create more than anything else, is that I create music that touches people and reaches people in such a way that it will help them and maybe save their life. Maybe they feel suicidal and they listen to one of my songs and it helps them. That would be amazing, to be able to reach people like that and help them how musicians from my history have helped me. What song hits me with a wave of nostalgia? YMCA. YMCA, Oops Upside Your Head, Summer Holiday, New York, New York. Those songs are the classic 80s and 90s party songs. When you had a party or a family get together, those songs were always on and they always hit me with nostalgia. YMCA is just a classic. Love YMCA. Oops Upside Your Head was always my favourite party song. You sit on the floor and just, loved it. I always loved Oops Upside Your Head. Summer Holiday was the song I used to sing on the karaoke. You know, everyone always had that one song they always sung. Well, when I was 5 years old, that was the first time I got up and sung karaoke. Actually, I might have been 4. And I sung Summer Holiday, and I always sung Summer Holiday from that day on. Haven't sung it in years though. New York, New York was my dad's. My dad used to have a few songs he'd sing at karaoke, but he always sung New York, New York, and it was always a crowd pleaser. So again, that brings back really nostalgic fond memories. Oh, Cotton Eye Joe. Oh, I love Cotton Eye Joe. Love Cotton Eye Joe. So yeah, really cheesy songs, but I love them, and they always make me really nostalgic and upset and depressed because I want to go back to a time when I'm at some function room for someone's birthday dancing to those songs. Okay, so that was it. This one was a bit longer. It's music, it's my love, it's my passion. I have a lot more to talk about where music's concerned than I do than anything else. So, sorry about that. I'm sorry that it was so long, but I hope that you have enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed talking to you about it. And like I said, if at some point I get another 4 now, because I've had 2 more questions come since I've been putting these up. So if I have another 4 more questions come, well, when I have another 4, I will do you another video. If you enjoyed this and you would like to see the other 2 videos in the series, please click the card above my head now for video 1. That video is personal questions about me, really. Not ridiculously personal, like, you know, what's your bra size, but personal questions about my life. And then this card is for video 2, which is a bit of fun hypothetical questions to have a bit of a laugh with. They were actually a little more intense than I anticipated. I didn't come up with answers and stuff for them before I did this. I just was like, oh, that sounds like a music question. I'll highlight that in this colour, and that was it. I colour coded them and I didn't think through answers, which is why I've rambled a bit. So when I did that one, I thought it was going to be a lot more hey, and it turned out to be a little bit not so much. So, but it is interesting, you know, things like, you know, if I had 24 hours to live, what would I wish for, things like that. What would I do? So go check those out if you would like to do that. If you're new to my channel and this is the first video you've watched, thank you for staying till the very end. if you enjoyed this, please do go and check out some of the videos that I carded, and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw. It would mean a lot to me, and I would love to have your input and any help and advice you might have for me. So if you really love the video, you could always hit that little notification bell and it will let you know when I upload again. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I actually have a little bit of a blooper ramble to bring you, just in case you haven't heard enough of me rambling. See ya. What do you think of my Amy Lee Cross Jen Majara hairstyle? I was trying to decide what to do with my hair, and I wanted to do something a bit funky, but I wasn't sure. So, and I also wanted this top poof thing. So I was like, I'm gonna braid the side like Jen Majara, and then after I did the top poof and put it in a ponytail, I was like, that kind of looks like a cross between one of the photo shoots Amy did during the self-titled era and a bit of Jen Majara thrown in. So, so proud. And relevant, because obviously this is the music questions.